Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Kutoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Ontario to end most mask mandates this Saturday, including hospitals and on public transit. Trudeau meets with the Prime Minister of Barbados on first day of Summit of the Americas. U.S. politicians see possible gun deal and wonder maybe this time is different. Federal minister says they are working on measures to end delays at airports. Canada is target of Russian disinformation with millions of tweets linked to Kremlin. Oil prices are rising, but Canada is getting comparatively less for every barrel. Terrorism proceedings to begin against a man in connection with Mississauga mosque attack. Pair faces 100 charges between them after 10 Toronto area carjacking incidents. Canada says it will extend the super visa stays, relax health insurance restriction to ease family reunification. One winning ticket sold for Tuesday's 70 million Lotto Max jackpot.
So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President Joe Biden are charting markedly different paths today at the Summit of the Americas. Before his leader-level meetings get underway, Biden is sitting down to tape an appearance with the talk show host Jimmy Kimmel. Trudeau, who arrived in Los Angeles late Tuesday, is getting down to work on environmental priorities with his counterpart from Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Trudeau is also set to attend a roundtable meeting with Latin America and Caribbean leaders to discuss the climate change, defending democratic values, and promoting gender equality. Trudeau is also expected to talk with Shilpan Amin, the president of General Motors International, about electric vehicle, the hemisphere's climate goal, and effort to energize the economic growth. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President Joe Biden are charting markedly different paths today at the Summit of the Americas. Before his leader-level meetings get underway, Biden is sitting down to tape an appearance with the talk show host Jimmy Kimmel. Trudeau, who arrived in Los Angeles late Tuesday, is getting down to work on environmental priorities with his counterpart from Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Trudeau is also set to attend a roundtable meeting with Latin America and Caribbean leaders to discuss the climate change, defending democratic values, and promoting gender equality. Trudeau is also expected to talk with Shilpan Amin, the president of General Motors International, about electric vehicle, the hemisphere's climate goal, and effort to energize the economic growth. Transport Minister Omar Alghabra says the federal government is working on new measures to help ease the delays at the major airport, adding a similar phenomena is happening worldwide. Speaking with reporters on his way to a weekly Liberal caucus meeting, the minister says working groups that include airport, airline, public health, and federal officials are meeting up to 3 times a week to try and find the solutions. But when pressed for details about when the changes are expected, he says he's not yet ready to announce the new measures. People traveling through the Canadian airports have been experiencing long lines and flight delays as post-pandemic travel ramps up, particularly at the Toronto Pearson Airport.
I owe it to Canadians and those who work in the sector to really understand what's happening. So what we're seeing is significant surge in demand, and supply is catching up to it. So we're seeing it even at airports. We're seeing it with taxi drivers. We're seeing it with airline service. We're seeing it with luggage handling. So what we've done right now, we're adding resources. So for example, for CATSA, which is a security agency, we've added 400 people, and now they're at various levels of training.
A University of Calgary analysis of over 6 million tweets and retweets and where they originate from has found that Canada is being targeted by the foreign powers trying to influence public opinion here. The report by the University School of Public Policy found that millions of tweets and retweets about the war in Ukraine can be traced back to Russia and China, with millions more expressing pro-Russian views coming from the U.S. Assistant Professor Jean-Christopher Bourgeois says the Russian state is associated with many accounts tweeting in Canada and is influencing posts that are retweeted, liked, or repeated again and again. The tweets express pro-Russian talking points, including that the Russia is fighting fascists in the Ukraine or the NATO wants to expand. Oil prices around the world have risen to their highest levels in years, but the Canadian oil sand producers are seeing comparatively less for every barrel because of the imbalances in the supply and demand. The benchmark North American oil price, a crude blend known as West Texas Intermediate or WTI, was changing hands for $119 a barrel on Tuesday, within the striking distance of multi-year high of $120 US after Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine in February sent the market into turmoil. WTI is what's known as the light sweet blend, so named because it's less dense than heavy oil and has much less sulfur content than the others that are considered to be the sour ones. Those chemical qualities make it easier and cheaper to refine, store, and ship, which is why WTI has become the priced benchmark for oil prices. But the countless other blends exist, including the type of oil that comes out of Alberta's oil sand, a heavy and sour mix that's known as Western Canada Select or WCS. Oil sands crude from Canada always trade at the discount to blend like WTI because it must be diluted before shipped, and many parts of the world won't accept it as an import because of its high sulfur content. The charges laid against a 24-year-old man in connection with an unprovoked attack of a mosque in Mississauga in March constitute terrorist activity, officials says. In a news release, Peel Police announced that the Deputy Director of Public Prosecution Service of Canada and the Assistant Deputy General for the Ministry of Attorney General consented to begin terrorism proceeding against Mohammed Moise Omar. He is facing 7 charges, including 2 counts of assault with a weapon after he allegedly attacked worshippers at the Dar al-Tawhid Islamic Center on March 9th during an early morning prayer. Police allege that Omar walked into the mosque and discharged bear spray towards congregants. He also allegedly brandished a hatchet. Police said members of the mosque reacted quickly and subdued the man. He was later arrested by the police. 2 people are facing a host of charges in connection with 10 carjacking incident in Greater Toronto Area last month, Toronto Police announced today. Investigators allege that over the course of the month, a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old from Toronto attempted 8 such robberies in Toronto and 2 in Durham. According to a Toronto Police news release, during the carjacking, a suspect with gun would approach a victim and demand they hand over their keys, while the another suspect would wait in a nearby getaway car. Police says that in 5 of these incidents, the pair were successful and then took off in stolen cars. Investigators also alleged that the same 2 men carried out a retail robbery in which one person demanded cash and firework and then forced the employees of the stores to load firework into the getaway car where the second person was waiting. At a news conference today, Inspector Richard Harris told reporters that 2 were placed under the surveillance and were spotted driving a stolen car last Saturday, which they were then arrested. Officers seized a handgun and a replica gun, he said, alongside a robbery kit and clothing that has been worn during the offenses. Starting next month, the federal government will extend how long Canadian visiting parents and grandparents can stay in this country and allow them to use the foreign health insurance during their time here, a too long sought adjustment to this country's controversial super visa program. The changes will come into effect July 4th. The surprise announcement from the Immigration Minister Sean Fraser today came in the wake of ongoing review by the Parliamentary Immigration Committee of Private Members Bill C-242 to amend the law to make those exact changes. It was a bid to ease family reunification for Canadians who have parents and grandparents abroad. A Lottomax ticket holder in Quebec is waking up $70 million richer, a single winning ticket that will claim Tuesday's jackpot, a draw that also had 47 available $1 million Max Million prizes. There are a total of 18 Max Million winners, some of whom are shared $1 million.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simone Cutoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Adios.